Sinners is the best thing I've seen all year, and to be honest, it's not close. More than movies, I'm a music guy. I love Robert Johnson, I love the Mississippi Delta Blues, I love American history, I love vampires. Don't ask. I love the Southern Gothic aesthetic. And once the metaphor clicked with me that vampires are a stand-in for the music industry's exploitation of black culture, I was sold. But the whole time I sat in the theater, I couldn't get this one question out of my head. Why is the big baddie of the movie Irish? A truly besieged people, historically speaking. Couldn't it have been like a snooty British villain like how Hollywood likes to do? Or like a wealthy white plantation owner-ish American businessman? Or even like a die-hard type Euro villain? Why Irish? I'm guessing some folks were kind of put off by that. Why is the central antagonist, the murderous vampire that parasitically tries to exploit black culture and enslave people to his will along the way, pause the plot to do a traditional Irish jig? He couldn't be more stereotypically Irish if he got into a drunken bar fight. Oh, wait, he does. I wish I could say that I'd figured it out by the end of the movie, but it wasn't until I went to bed that night that the answer hit me. Power is a fractal pyramid. Let me explain. Typically, the bad guy of a movie is the capstone, the very top of the pyramid. The Emperor. Not so with Remick here. He's more like that granite beam that is on the inside that holds the whole pyramid together. I don't know how pyramids work, okay? No one sees him, no one knows his name, he's not on the podium, and he's not on the TV. But he's essential. You can topple and replace the capstone of the pyramid as many times as you want. And people do, but as long as the pyramid-shaped hierarchy of power exists, he will stay there. Quiet, unchanging, immortal. Oh my god, just like a vampire. Here's what I mean by fractal. Every hierarchy of power, if you zoom way in, is another smaller hierarchy. The king is served by lords, who are in turn served by knights, who are served by peasants, served by slaves. And each layer depends on the next layer down doing its job to bolster the next layer up. Remick is what we'll call the middle manager of power. The reason why it's fractal is because your manager that you work for is the king of his own tiny little kingdom. Respectively, the vamps in this movie are record label executives, white blues artists, and shady copyright lawyers. Stealing songs, erasing credit, whitewashing history, robbing aesthetics from a culture they don't belong to, laundering these genres of their black origin. These are not the methods of the top of the pyramid. These are the methods of the middle managers. And to be honest, the movie very explicitly acknowledges that. Think about the moment we're introduced to Remick. He's on the run, the sun is burning his skin. Apparently he tried the same grift with the Choctaw Nation's music before the story began. He's honestly kind of pathetic. This is not Sauron. This is Gollum. And in his desperation, he recruited the help of those who would have his kind deported back to Ireland with the rest of the Catholics. This sounds weird today, but at the time the movie takes place in the top 5 of the KKK's hit list were Catholics. This is the genius of Sinners and Ryan Coogler. That uncomfortable nuance. Whereas someone without personal experience of how these hierarchies maintain themselves would probably write a movie in which white bigots equals bad, oppressed minorities equals good, then the good guy win. That's my movie, I hope you liked it. And there's nothing wrong with that type of story. But that's not Sinners. This is the type of movie that is not afraid of the moral ambiguity of seeing a beloved character that is of the culture.
If you like that nigga, you motherfucking racist. Fuck you and fuck him. Now what?
Be reduced to a cynical parasite, willing to humiliate himself just to get paid. Jewish record executives exploited rappers in the early days of the genre. Italian real estate moguls reinforced segregation. White suffragettes excluded black women from the first wave of feminism. Gay whites have historically excluded gay POCs from the queer movement. And Candace Owens is bitten. Okay? She has been bit. Run! And that is why the antagonist of Sinners is Irish. If you've ever wondered why your sleep-deprived leftist roommate keeps using the word intersectional, this is why. And just like real life, the true villain here is not the opportunistic middleman exploiter, nor is it the head of the pyramid sitting on the throne. It is the vampiric ideology that tells you the pyramid is natural. The pyramid is forever. The pyramid is immortal.
I don't believe in magic, ghosts, demons, just power.